Alright, when we're looking at geometry, we're used to finding perimeters of shapes like triangles and rectangles and trapezoids and things like that, but when we come to circles, we have something a little bit different. With circles, our perimeter is known as circumference. And with our circumference, we have two different formulas. We have pi times diameter, or we have 2 times pi times radius. Okay, now really these are both the same thing, because anytime I take the radius times 2, I'm going to have that diameter anyway. So these are kind of the same formulas, but I like to use one or the other depending on the information that I'm given. So if I'm given the radius, I'll use my formula with the radius. If I'm given my diameter, I'll use my formula with the diameter. Now, important thing to note, this formula here gets confused a lot with the area formula, but it's a very different thing. Circumference is 2 times pi times radius, where the area is pi times radius squared. So let's put this to use, and let's look at the circle that I have over here to the side. I have a little circle with a radius of 3. We know it's the radius because it goes halfway across the circle. So let's go ahead, and since I have the radius, I'm going to use my second formula. And I'm going to say my circumference is 2 times pi times my radius, which is 3. Now, one thing that's a good practice when we're doing this kind of stuff, and it'll come later on in volume, is to find it in terms of pi first. What that means is I'm going to save pi for last. I like to think it's like my dessert, right? Pi is a dessert. I'm going to save it for the end. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 2 and 3 together. That's going to give me 6 pi. And then from there, this would be in terms of pi. So if they wanted an answer in terms of pi, that's what they're looking for. And then now when I go here, I do 6 times pi, which gives me 6 times 3.14 if we're looking to estimate it. So I'll plug that into my trusty dusty calculator. 6 times 3.14, and we get 18.84. And this would be in units squared, or excuse me, not units squared, just units, because this is perimeter and it's one-dimensional. Now, to show you what that would look like in the other formula real quick, to find my diameter, I have to multiply my radius by 2, so my diameter would be 6. And we're actually going to start off, so if I'm doing pi times my diameter, which is 6, notice that these steps kind of look the same, right? That's where I said those similarities lie. But both ways you do it, pi times 6 is still going to get us 18.84 units. And that's how our circumference works.